Hi everybody, in this video I'm going to show you how to use the point-slope form of the equation of a line, and I'll tell you exactly what it is. So here's the point-slope form of a line. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. It's a little different than the equation of a line that we talked about before, which is just y equals mx plus b. That one is called the slope-intercept form. For y equals mx plus b, we needed to know the intercept and we needed to know the slope in order to come up with the equation of the line. For point-slope form, we need to know a point and a slope to come up with the equation of a line. So our point is called x1, y1, and we plug those values in here and here, and our slope is still called m. So these are just two different ways to write down an equation for a line, but they're both good. They both represent lines. This one can be a little bit more useful than the slope-intercept form, as we'll see in the second example. So if we want to use the point-slope formula to express a line with slope 2 through the point -1, 2, then first I can write that m equals 2, and the point, which is x1, y1, equals -1, 2. So now I just plug in. So again, the formula is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And I plug in for y1, 2, and for x1, -1. So y minus 2 equals, for m I plug in 2, times x minus -1. So this equation is y minus 2 equals 2 times x plus 1. For web work, it will ask you to write it in a different form. It wants you to write it as y equals y1 plus m times x minus x1. All it's asking you to do there is to bring this minus 2 over to the other side. So for web work, I would enter y equals 2 plus 2x plus 1. I just added this 2 over to this side. The second example demonstrates why the point-slope form is so useful. So here I have 2 points, 0, 1, and -1, 2. So we could plot them if we wanted to get a sense of what this graph looks like. And -1, 2. So I know I'm going to have a negative slope. I actually know my y-intercept, so I could use the slope-intercept form on this one. But in order to use the point-slope form, I need two pieces of information. I need m, and I need a point, x1, y1. For m, I need to calculate the slope, which you know how to do from the calculating slope video. And I do that by taking the difference in the y values and dividing by the difference in the x values. So that will be, let's do 1 minus 2, 1 minus 2, and then 0 minus -1. So that gives me -1 over +1, which is just -1. So that's my m. x1, y1 is just either of these points. I can use any point on the line that I want. And so maybe I'll choose it to be 0, 1, because having a 0 makes life a little bit easier. So now I take this information and I plug in again into the point-slope form, which is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And so I get y minus 1, because 1 is my y1, equals -1, because that's my m, times x minus 0. So my equation is y minus 1 equals -x. And if I were writing it like WebWork wants me to, I'd want to add 1 to both sides, so I just get y equals 1 minus x. I hope that these examples made clear how to use the point slope form. In the next video, I show you where the point slope form comes from so that it's not so random.